Using who and whom. You will be expected to use who and whom correctly in formal writing, such as application letters, term papers, and reports. The case of the pronoun who is determined by how it is used in the sentence. Here are the forms of who and whoever. Subjective, nominative are who and whoever. The objective forms are whom and whomever. Who and whom can be used to ask questions and to introduce subordinate clauses. Question, who is that man by the counter? A subordinate clause, is he the man who came with your dad? Who came with your dad is a subordinate clause. Using who and whom in questions. Who is a subjective or nominative form. In a question, who is used as a subject or as a predicate noun. As a subject, who is that man by the counter? As a predicate noun, that man is who? It follows the linking verb is. Whom is the objective form. In a question, whom is used as an object. It can be the direct or indirect object of a verb or the object of a preposition. Whom did he ask to the dance? If you switch the sentence around, you could say he did ask whom to the dance. Whom would be the direct object. From whom did you get that candy? Whom is the object of the preposition from. A general guideline that is true most of the time. For a question, put he or she where who or whom would go. If he or she makes sense, use who. If it sounds weird, use whom. Who or whom took my soda? Try substituting he or she. He took my soda. He works, so who is the correct pronoun to use? He is the subjective form or pronoun, and so we use the subjective who. Who took my soda? Number 2, whom are you speaking to? Try substituting he or she. She are you speaking to? It doesn't work. It needs to be switched around to you are speaking to her. That means the sentence needs the objective whom. Her is the objective pronoun, so we would use whom. Whom are you speaking to? Using who and whom in subordinate clauses. Who and whom are also used to introduce subordinate clauses. To choose the correct form, you must figure out how the pronoun is used in the clause. Who should be doing the action? Whom should be receiving the action? Chrissy Teigen is an actress who cares about human rights. Who cares about human rights is a subordinate clause. The word who is doing the action. We could change it into 2 sentences and substitute she. Chrissy Teigen is an actress. She cares about human rights. Another example. James is one football player whom the coach influenced. Whom the coach influenced is a subordinate clause. The word whom is receiving the action. We could change it into 2 sentences and substitute him. James is one football player. The coach influenced him. The same guideline we used before works for subordinate clauses. If you have a subordinate clause, make a sentence with it. Put he or she where who or whom would go. If he or she makes sense, use who. If it sounds weird, use whom. Greg Newsome is the cornerback who or whom the Cleveland Browns drafted in the first round. Make a sentence out of the subordinate clause and try using he or she. He, the Cleveland Browns drafted in the first round. It doesn't work. It needs to be switched around to the Cleveland Browns drafted him in the first round. That means the sentence needs the objective whom. Greg Newsome is the quarterback whom the Cleveland Browns drafted in the first round. The chef wanted to know who or whom ordered the wrong type of dressing. Make a sentence out of the subordinate clause and try using he or she. He ordered the wrong type of dressing. He works, so who is the correct pronoun to use? The chef wanted to know who ordered the wrong type of dressing. The gracious award recipient thanked everyone who or whom had helped him succeed. Make a sentence out of the subordinate clause and try using he or she. He had helped him succeed. He works, so who is the correct pronoun to use? The gracious award recipient thanked everyone who had helped him succeed. Let's look at that sentence written another way. The gracious award recipient thanked everyone who or whom he had been associated with. Make a sentence out of the subordinate clause and try using he or she. He had been associated with. It doesn't work. It needs to be switched around to he had been associated with him. That means the sentence needs the objective whom. The gracious award recipient thanked everyone whom he had been associated with.